I found the Barstool clip, so here we go.
David Freese made headlines. He got inducted into the Cardinals Hall of Fame, so he declined it. Riggs, you're a Cardinal fan.
Yeah, just an all-time asshole move. I feel like I don't know anybody that's defending this move. If I've learned anything in the last week and a half from even the Live PGA merge and all that, like if somebody offers you anything, you take it. Like if someone offers you, whether it's money, whether it's recognition in this case, you take it. The people that run this thing, you know they take it unbelievably seriously. This is their favorite thing in the world. So to say no, just say yes so that those guys are happy. Now you make them look like assholes too. So all-time asshole move, I think.
Like you're saying, Riggs, they take it seriously. The second, you definitely know you're on the ballot before the ballot comes out.
Yes.
So just be like, I'd prefer not. Don't let yourself get voted in.
No alcohol
like,
talk.
No. Once you hear whispers, be like, you know what? I don't really want it.
So
that's not part of my take, though.
Big Cat was on that, so I thought it was.
So that was Dave Portnoy, and Riggs is from St. Louis. I'm surprised he thought that was an a-hole move. Is it really that big of a deal? I know it's a story here, but I thought it was kind of cool that, to me, it's the opposite of an a-hole move. I can understand you disagreeing with it, but to me, this guy's saying, look, I don't feel like I belong with the greats. There's nothing a-hole about that.
I just think he could have just, like, once they had the conversation about being on the ballot, he could be like, just don't even put me on that thing.
Well, he changed his mind. And, it's easy if you don't know the full context. You don't know what kind of guy Freese is to get the wrong impression. Charlie knows. I think a lot of fans know, so they might better understand it. Like, I know he was reluctant from the moment it happened.
Yeah.
Now, should he have to me, it's a parallel to the holiday thing, right? I mean, you want to do it. You're not sure about it. And then when it comes time, you realize this isn't me.
Yeah.
And Freese is like a humble guy. It's not like
he is.
I don't want to be bothered with it. He's like, I just feel guilty being in the company of people I don't believe I belong in that company.
So that wasn't Pardon My Take?
That was definitely Portnoy
It was
and
Barstool,
Riggs.
but not.
Because once you throw the booze thing in there and you're mocking him with the alcohol and stuff like that, that's on a different level.
Oh, they were mocking Freese about alcohol?
I think that's what Jackie Parlays was talking about.
Send us a link, homie.
Yeah, so Jackie's always on it, dude. I don't know.
Doug Gottlieb had an interesting defense of David Freese. Let me see if I can pull this up.
And Gottlieb's like best friends with Matt Holliday, so I'm sure he talked with Holliday about that.
Yeah.
I think, now I will tell you this, I have no problem with what David Freese did whatsoever. I do disagree with him, though, because I think the Cardinals Hall of Fame was made for people just like him.
Yeah.
Literally made for people like David Freese. I think that's the point of it.
Here we go.
Freese came up with two of the biggest hits in one game, Game 6 of the World Series, when the Cardinals were down to their last strike. Okay? When he came up with those two hits, you as a Cardinal fan celebrate that as the greatest moment in Cardinal history or in your lifetime, or maybe for you, for David Freese. David Freese, it's been well documented that he had a substance abuse problem. And by all accounts, he doesn't want to have that immortalized. He doesn't want that memory to be triggered every time. He's in a much healthier space now. And so guess what he gets to do? Decide if, hey, I don't want to be it. And like, listen, maybe it's a insecurity, right? That he doesn't think he's worthy. But the reality to it was that's a dark place that he was in.
I think that's
dark place.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point, because when you read the stories about David Freese, and Kat, I'm sure you've talked with him recently, and we talked to him, I guess it was 2 years ago when he was back for his bobblehead. That famous Bob Nightingale article, it seems like David Freese is very happy being away from baseball in terms of he doesn't have the car or the ring or the trophy. He doesn't celebrate it. And because he went through all of those dark times, you just wonder if, hey, I actually don't want to go back every opening day. I don't want to go back every time there's an induction and kind of bring back, look, great baseball memories, but a time in my life that wasn't great for me because of off the field.
Yep.
He also was also a reluctant start, regardless of the drinking stuff, which I understand the point, and I'm not disagreeing with it. But he never loved, like, he was the hometown hero, and he wasn't comfortable being the hometown hero. So even aside from just the alcohol issues that he had, he never loved that part of it anyway.
Yeah.
But I agree with Charlie. If you're talking about the Cardinals Hall of Fame, the moments that he authored, who's watching? I think it's Seth.
What's up? I'm trying to find.
Okay.
Trying to find the video. I found.
When you take your
them
headphones
talking-
off,
Let me finish my. We were just trying to figure out where it came
Go ahead.
from. Nothing. We're all
Oh,
good.
my bad.
We're all good. He authored two of the biggest moments in Cardinal history, for moments that he will always be linked with and applauded for. So I agree. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. His decision, is to not do it. But I agree. That's what a Cardinal Hall of Fame should be about.
And he didn't have just those hits. He also played here 5 years. He was an all-star in a 20-homer season. I mean, he was...
And a local guy.
Yeah, he was a solid player. I know he was hurt a bit, but he still played. We looked it up. He played 5 seasons, and it was 3 full seasons worth of baseball. So it wasn't like it was only 1 October.
Yeah. Hi. On Freese, he might very well be thinking he would rather not be asked repeatedly and expected to show up for opening days, annual Cardinal Hall of Fame inductions, etc., because he doesn't want to go to them, and never showing to those would likely look worse than respectfully declining to be inducted on one day at a time and being done with it. Dusty Lane. I kind of butchered that, but I kind of get what you're saying there. Like maybe he doesn't want to just have to do all that stuff.
Well, that's what I said too. Again, listen, if you're an addict and you're going back to every opening day and every induction, what are all those Cardinals Hall of Famers doing? There's a bunch of banquets, there's a bunch of parties, everybody's drinking, everybody's having fun, and maybe that's not the best spot for him.
Yeah, I get that, dude.
That's a fantastic point.
Because once you go back to places where you're reminded of drinking or shooting up or doing blow or whatever, like it pops in your head and you start thinking about it again. Even like that happened to me for like years when I got done with painkillers. Little things I would do would trigger my brain. Like, dang, I used to do these jacked up on pain, like play a video game or something. Just it triggered my brain. And I'm like, and then I start thinking about it again. And you can go down a dark path that way. Happened for 2 years afterwards.
He's into now. He's been playing a little while. He's played in the past. Now he's heavy into golf. One of his buddies told me. Like,
God, yeah, dude.
And also, he told me, like, he loves being Mr. Mom. He was doing that, where he was home with the kids, taking care of them, and loved it. And he said, to be honest with you, when we did a Zoom one time, he was like, yeah, my wife said I could take a break to come do the Zoom, so thank you.
Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. Yeah, golf, man, it's a good escape. It's a good escape. Riggs is from St. Louis, also Dragon Freeze. He shouldn't have been on the ballot, and it doesn't look great turning it down to Cardinals fans, I don't think. Nebraska Prairie Dog. Freeze declined because he didn't want to have to come back for all the jacket BS each year.
I think fans love that. I think a lot of the guys that come back for that do love it. I agree that maybe there's issues that Freeze is reluctant to do it. But I will say this. Even though Cardinal fans may want him in the Hall of Fame, maybe don't agree with, when he comes back, they will still love him.
Of course.
David Freese, I don't think that's going to hurt him in any way in terms of how Cardinal fans feel about him. They will always love him. He's such a likable guy outside of what he did on the field.
Freeze is a perfect situation, David Freese's situation is a perfect snapshot of the Cardinals organization right now. He doesn't want 100% commitment, had horrible depression, so him having to come home every opening day doesn't make sense with his anxiety and feelings. Zach.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the case. I don't know if that's, like, I didn't ask Freese, hey, is it coming back and could trigger some bad... I don't know if that's the case. I haven't talked to him about it. He might just really think, look, I had a couple of at-bats. I don't know. I'd have to ask him, and I'm going to work toward that.
And here's a good point to make, I think. David Freese, because he is a hometown hero, Lafayette High School, Cardinals, biggest moments in Cardinals history. If he wanted to, he could live in St. Louis and make tons of money off his name and endorsements, and he could be the car dealership guy and all that. There's a reason he's living a slow-paced life in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
He's doing that for a reason.
Joe Rogan. Last one, and we'll go to break, because we got to go to break because we got trivia sponsored by the Post. Jackie Parlays chimes in and goes, at the end of the day, David Freese gave generations of Cardinals fans unforgettable moments and memories and made local kids dream to play for their hometown team. On the field, there is no question how much playing for the Cards meant to Freezer. Jackie Parlays will end on that one because we're going to go to break. We're going to go to break, and we're going to do trivia. And
I literally just found the video of part of my take. I just skimmed through it.
Okay, play it.
And a little profanity, so I'll try and
go ahead.
get it
No one would ever have known about this story until he did this.
Yeah.
So he's actually a piece of shit.
All right, gotta go. Go to break.
But it's the most Cardinals
break.
thing ever to get a lot of attention to
No,
yourself.
when you play a
for raising
curse
your
word, you're
hand and
supposed
being
to
like,
not play
"Look
it.
what a team guy."
We'll figure it out. We should go to
I
break.
dumped it, but all right.
It's all good.
Wow. That surprises me.
It's right off the bat.
It's in the podcast and it's on the stream on our app.
That's all right.
So some people are getting the unfiltered.
Oh, all right.